And for our mindfulness meditation together, let me invite you as always just to be still. Find a nice, comfortable position for your body and allow it to find its own feeling of stillness, its own position of stillness. Let your eyes close and your mind remain awake. As you allow your body to breathe all by itself, with your lips together, breathing in and out through your nose, with your stomach area rising and falling gently and softly, your body finding its own effortless rhythm. And the intention for this mindfulness meditation is to entertain, to explore, to understand more deeply the act of effortlessness, effortless living. The art of mindfulness teaches us effortless living. It invites us to slow down and do everything as calmly, slowly, gently, softly as we can, yet still achieve the results that we wish. So this aspect of mindfulness is the awareness of how much energy we're putting into achieving a specific result. There are many different forms of energy. Relaxation is a form of energy, is a form of soothing, calming, healing energy that we welcome into our body with our awareness and our choice. And in our society, a predominantly white Western society, with our Western educational system, we get taught to try hard, try even harder, and no amount of effort ever seems good enough. And as young people, as children, we hear these messages: must try harder, must do better. We hear these messages coming mainly from teachers, but other sources as well. And we convert them into a story. We convert them into a story with our thinking. And the story then sits in the subconscious mind and drives us for the rest of our lives, as do all of the stories that we author and conjure as young people. The story of I must try harder drives so much of our worrying, our anxious striving, our stressful living, speeding and cramming through life, trying harder and harder, and then associating the inevitable failures and mistakes as being me not trying hard enough. So we try even harder. In the Special Forces, they have a phrase, and it goes something like, slow is methodical, and methodical is fast. So the elite soldiers and elite men and women of our society are well aware of how damaging, how dysfunctional rushing around, cramming and speeding can actually be. In fact, rushing, cramming and speeding should only really take place in life or death situations. Your amygdala, which is a chunk of your brain at the back, is designed to enable you to cram, speed, and travel at very high speeds in order to escape danger, death, harm, mainly in the old days from wild animals and perhaps other tribes people, perhaps. But these days, that same part of our brain, the amygdala, in the absence of lions and marauding tribes people, we get our stories given to us that activate the amygdala. So it becomes very easy for us to rush, cram, and speed through life for no reason at all. There's no lion chasing us. Our life is not at danger or at threat, yet we're living like it is. In this mindfulness meditation, there's an invitation. The invitation now, this very moment, is for you to use your imagination and take a few minutes to imagine what you would be like if you decided to live slowly, calmly, and peacefully, using your intelligence, your wisdom, and your awareness to do your best to go through life, engaging in every activity, no matter how small or big, using as little thought energy as possible, using as little emotional energy as possible, and using as little physical energy as possible. The conservation of energy and resources within the self. As you embark on this imaginary experience, let me offer you a few questions that may help. So first of all, what's the first image that comes into your mind when you think of yourself, when you conceive of yourself as being somebody totally dedicated and successful at living mindfully, peacefully, and calmly, choosing very wisely with each breath, each moment, each activity, to only apply the necessary amount of energy to achieve that task? How would that change the way you feel about life? How would that change your general feeling of tiredness or possibly even exhaustion? If you were to live as slowly as possible, yet still achieve good results, the results of your choice and of your wish, but living life slowly and calmly by conscious choice, what would that do to your general feeling of well-being, your emotional feeling of being inside your body, living through life's experiences? What does your imagination tell you? That if you lived mindfully slowly, how would it make you feel? How would you be making yourself feel by making that choice, the mindful choice to live as slowly as possible, as calmly as possible? If you think about nuns and monks who dedicate their lives to the spiritual journey, helping others, and maybe to God, they tend to be very slow, peaceful, calm people. And this is because perhaps they've realized and understood that there is a healthy speed at which to live life. There's a healthy amount of energy to dedicate to each task. And having understood this, perhaps they develop the skill of living as calmly and slowly as they can, yet still achieve the results that they wish. Maybe this would explain why the great spiritual leaders for certain, and the monks and nuns of the world, of all religions and philosophies, speak calmly, they speak slowly, they live simply and peacefully, carefully apportioning and rationing their energies, their thought energy, their emotional energy, and their physical energy, in order to maintain a feeling of well-being inside themselves, so that they have energy for others to help, to support, to care. If you were to dedicate yourself to a life lived slowly and calmly as possible, what would be the biggest change that would take place, do you think, in your life? What does your imagination tell you? What would happen to your physical health, do you imagine? Would it get worse or would it get better? Maybe you remain the same. What do you think? What do you imagine? What would happen to your relationships with others? If you just remain calm, spoke slowly and peacefully, how would others receive you? Do you imagine that they would find you more pleasant to be with, less pleasant to be with, or maybe about the same? And for you yourself, if others around you decided to also live mindfully, calmly, peacefully, and slowly, how would you feel about them? How would you start to view them, see them, understand them, experience them? Do you imagine you would enjoy being with them more, less, or about the same? What does your powerful imagination, fueled by your wisdom, tell you? What would happen, do you imagine, to all of your jobs and tasks on your to-do list? What would actually happen to them? If you were to slow down and prioritize your well-being over and above the tasks on your to-do list. Bearing in mind the art of calm, slow living does involve and engage in to-do lists and accomplishing tasks. But of course, accomplishing them slowly, calmly, and applying our wisdom and intelligence to choosing how much energy, how much time, how much effort each task is worth. Applying awareness to anything, of course, involves first establishing the awareness inside yourself, as you're doing right now. Right now, you are in a heightened state of self-awareness, and you are choosing to engage in an activity that we call meditation. But of course, it's the act of being still, having your eyes closed but your mind awake, allowing your body to breathe relaxation breath while your awareness sits inside your body, so that you're aware of the feeling of your muscles, your skin, your bones, your emotions, even your thoughts. Just aware. And with the presence of awareness comes the presence of choice. Your awareness, self-awareness, gives you the choice over how fast you do something, how long you do something for, how much pressure and rushing you engage in while you're doing those tasks. So as we draw our mindfulness meditation to a gentle close, let me invite you just simply to do your best, because your best is always good enough. Just to live with your awareness inside your body so that you may be able to choose how fast, how hard, how effortless, how effortful each act you engage in becomes. And in this way, you are living a mindful life with your well-being at your heart, at the core of your intention, so that if you wish, you can help others with the energy that you release through your calm abiding, peaceful living, and conscious experience. And as we arrive very gently at the end of our mindfulness meditation together, let me invite you to notice the light coming in through your eyelids, the feeling of your body weight resting, and the solid ground underneath your feet. And when you're ready, simply open your eyes and notice how good you feel.